Howdy howdy, this is Craig Grinding back again with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I cover round 1 results, then jump into round 2 predictions for the Sabretooth and Falcon arenas. So first let's take a look at round 1 results. So Sabretooth now set the highest all-time 5-star feature arena first round cutoff at 45 million. Bishop had it before him, but now we're at 45 million. So we have yet to see that ceiling potentially. Maybe 45 million is the ceiling, but at this point we don't know, right? All we know is that with Sabretooth, I think the hype on him continued to grow and grow. There was a lot of hype on Bishop. It got even bigger with Sabretooth, and here's the result. 45 million. There were no arena boosts, packages, or anything like that. Sure, you can get arena boosts through the grinding and the milestone rewards of the 5-star arena, but yeah, this was quite big number. Then we look at the 4-star feature Sabretooth. That came in at 12.8 million with the top 10% at 4.1 million. Jumping over to the 4-star basic Falcon arena, he came in at a very small, low number of 1.7 million with that 11 to 25% shard tier at 1.3 million. And lastly, Sabretooth 3-star feature came in, that cutoff was at 1.1 million with 11 to 25% roughly around the 300,000 number. There wasn't a clear survey result coming from the Reddit results, so this is basically just a rough round number for that one. So how did these results compare to my round 1 predictions? All in all, not too bad. Everything was kind of around that 10% range. I try to always be within 10%. Now in the case of the 4-star and 5-star feature arenas, I was right on that border of 9% kind of away from the actual cutoff. As you can see, I said 41, it went 45, which, you know, take 10% away from that, we just made the cutoff there. When you take a look at the 4-star feature arena at 14 million was my prediction. It came in just right under 13 million, so right in that range there of 10%, maybe even closer to 5%. And then Falcon almost dead on. My prediction was 1.9, and then with 3-star feature Sabretooth was dead on there as well. So all in all, pretty good. That means I'm getting a good sense of how these arenas are kind of ending up. What's kind of hard to gauge though is where's that ceiling for that 5-star feature arena. 45 million is really high, so it'll be interesting to see how high the community can take that number. Hopefully not much higher than what we've got it already. But anyways, start looking forward to round 2. Let's take a look at the trends of the previous new feature champs since the 5-star arena has been in. And the good news is we have 3 examples to look at with Killmonger, Sentinel, and Bishop. And you can see here between round 1 and round 2, there wasn't much variance between the cutoffs. They were all kind of in the same 1 million, 2 million range from the first round. In the case of Bishop, they are almost exactly the same. So pretty interesting. And then when we look at the top 10% shard tier, you can see that we're starting to plateau right around that 10.5 million number with the slight increase. It's not completely flat. There's still a slight increase, but not a significant increase. So 10.5 seems to be where we've landed now with that top 10% shard tier. Now jumping over to the 4-star feature result, you can see once we got that first round Killmonger out of the way, when nobody really knew what was to expect, we've seen some increases now from Sentinel going up, but then with Bishop, his round 1 was higher than round 2. I think in the case of Sabretooth, we'll probably see something similar to Sentinel when there'll be a slight increase between round 1 and round 2. And again, when it comes to the top 10% shard tier, you can see that we've had 2 spikes, but for the most part, it's around that 4 million range. Now jumping over to Falcon, you can see for the 4-star basic arena, between round 1 and round 2, it's all kind of within 100,000, right? It's sure for Electro went up a little bit, with Age of Venom it went down. So with Falcon, either way, you're going to be within about that 100,000 of where we were with round 1. And then when we look at the 11-25% shard tier, you can see round 1 is lower, round 2 spikes up, 1.5 usually it looks like for the round 2. And lastly, when we look at the 3-star feature Sabretooth arena, you can see in the past with Killmonger there was a slight increase. Then once we got to 1 million, Sentinel dropped, and so did Bishop drop between round 1 and round 2. Although the drop for Bishop wasn't as significant as we saw for Sentinel, I think we'll see a similar kind of drop between round 1 and round 2 for Sabretooth, similar to Bishop. And then I think now if you look at that 11 to 25% Shard tier, for the most part, we've kind of plateaued right around 500,000. So looking at these trends, here are my thoughts for round 2 cutoffs. This is for the veterans bracket, and I'm still going to mark these, asterisk them, star them as, you know, rough estimates. Is just now getting to the point where I have enough, the sample size is significant enough that I can do some somewhat realistic, or I should say dependable trend analysis, but not quite there yet. So anyway, here are my round 2 rough estimates for the 5-star feature. 44 million. That slight increase from round 1, or sorry, slight decrease. We went to 45 million. I think it'll be kind of like what we saw, where the results are very similar between round 1 and round 2, with a top 10% at 10.5 million. I think for Sabretooth 4-star feature, 13 million. Again, just slightly above round 1 results, and top 10% at 4.1%, or sorry, 4.1 million. Then we jump over to Falcons 4-star basic second round cutoff. I think it'll be 1.8, just slightly higher than that 1.7, with 11 to 25% coming in at 1.5 million. So there'll be a very tight window between that shard tier and actually getting Falcon. So keep that in mind. With a top 10% 3-star feature, Sabretooth coming in at 1 million. That cutoff with 11 to 25%. That cutoff at 500,000. These are the cutoffs. This is where I think, you know, give or take 10%, right? That's what I'm always kind of targeting. These are where I think the cutoffs will actually be for round 2. So here are my thoughts on kind of grind targets. So, you know, if you want to really make sure you get the champs, if you get to these points, then you should be fine. 46 million for Sabretooth, 11 million for that top 10% 5-star feature arena shard tier. Then we jump over the 4-star feature arena. I think 14 million will work for Sabretooth, top 10%, 4.3 million. We'll make sure you get that shard tier. If you really want Falcon for the 4-star basic arena, get 2 million, you should be fine. 11 to 25%, 1.6 million should be good. And then when you look at the 3-star feature Sabretooth, probably want to get a 1.1 million again to make sure you get him 11 to 25% at 525,000. He may drop down to 900,000 in round 2, but if again, this is better safe than sorry. I'd say 1.1 million to be sure you get that 3-star feature Sabretooth. And again, these rough grind targets are for the veterans bracket. When it comes to the beginners and intermediate brackets, really tough to say. It's just because these results change all the time. The number of people in the pool change all the time. So here's just some rough estimates based on, or rough ranges based off of my own personal experience. Most recently a couple months ago with my free-to-play account, and then based off of some anecdotal information from the community time to time. There's not a good flow of the latest and greatest results here, so just keep that in mind when using these numbers. 3-star feature, go around 245,000 in the beginners bracket. 4-star basic, 750. 4-star feature, 1.2 million. Intermediate bracket, your 3-star feature, you want to go up to about 500,000, 525 maybe. 4-star basic, around 1 million. The 4-star feature, if you really want Sabretooth, you better go to, if this says 1.2 million, 1.5 million will be even safer if you can get that high. So anyway, these are my thoughts for the intermediate and beginner bracket. And again, here are my targets, as well as the cutoff estimates, predictions, whatever you want to call it, for the veterans bracket. These are my thoughts. Would love to hear yours. If you have any questions, throw them on down in the comment section. We can talk about them there. If you like this cutoff video, we really appreciate you smashing that thumbs up button. If you like this and other videos I have on the channel, we really appreciate it. Subscribe. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.